Here we have a exciting new feature for umajin. We're going to show step-by-step debugging and variable watching using the new Visual Studio Lite code editor, Microsoft Visual Studio Lite editor. So let's go through to a page with the object on it. So this is an object custom component called the Rotate 360 component. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect this up to our debugger. So let's open with code, and here we have the Visual Studio debugger. Now what we can do from here is apply a watch. So let's, when the rotate 360 on move event occurs, let's stick a a breakpoint in there, and then we're going to watch some of the variables once this launches. Now the cool thing about this process is that literally within here you can also change code while we're stopped. So this is a full editor debugger environment. But what I have to do is to press run here on the main project. So this will kick off the process. So we're now running, and then when I try and drag, it's now triggered that event and then brought the editor to the front. So we can see here that I can see all these variables. They're all my current locals, and I can step through the code. And we get a couple of events, and you can see it moved in the background there. So I'm going to remove that breakpoint, and we now have our running app back again. But while it's in brake mode, while you're paused, the engine will be suspended. So if we look at a more complicated example, here's a 3D game. So if we go back to our app and go to the whack-a-mole game, we've got a whole bunch of different events we can look at. I'm going to put a watch on the end game event. So here we go. So when we get to end game, it should fire this code. So let's test that out. If I run the game, the idea is I'm supposed to click these guys and squash them like whack-a-mole, but if I don't manage to get to them in time, there's one life down, 2 lives down, and then when this 3rd life hits, should fire end of game. There we go, we're at the end of game. I can see I've got my first game kit object correctly identified, and the overlay is still undefined. So if I keep stepping through the code, now I can see overlay's been updated. I can check out all of the code that's executing. I can have all my breakpoints, and then the great thing is step in and out. Once that's run, then the simulation returns in the background, and you can see that these 3 lines here, which updated my scale tween, have been applied to reset the 3D game back to its original position. So this is a very, very powerful way of getting in and seeing exactly what your JavaScript is doing. Cheers.